Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going live and talking about teenagers, or we have to know more about teenagers as we had a discovery call for the couple of days. We had a couple of discovery calls, and it was at this particular time that we were able to understand the real complications, what problems or the problems that parents are facing. It's all about their puberty level, or what to talk about puberty. How can I deal with the child who is a teenager, or what kind of difficulties we have to handle it with care. What are those things, what the child is perceiving things, and why is that I'm not able to understand my child. Many things which had some complex situation in the parents life as well. And that's where we came into these sessions. We thought of going live and answering the questions as well. If you have any question regarding teenagers, or you have any doubts regarding these things, just let me know in the comment section so that I can help you out with that. Okay, so this is very important. As parents, we have to identify what exactly is happening in the child's mind, especially when the child is a teenager. So what happens here? Let us know about it. Of course, parenting is something very special. We know that it is the moments which most parents want to, uh, you know, uh, cherish in their minds all the time. And this, we can never forget the first time we became parents. All of us have experienced that pleasant moment. It's a nostalgic moment. But at the same time, it is turning a little complex and also a little complicated as in when the child grows. What we thought of is not that easy. Now, what are those things? How can we as parents try to bring some solutions for all these problems? So the first thing is why this particular phase or teenage phase is something very special. I want to talk about these things because we know we have passed that particular stage, and now we almost have forgotten all that what we have felt, or we are not aware of psychological things what is happening within the body at that particular time. And let us know more about these things. When we talk about the age, the teen age, that is, I can call right now the present stage is about 10 to 19 years of age, where the child is said to be a teenager. I know it is 13, but right, in the present days we can see in the lately, I think around 10 to 5 to 10 years, we have seen that the changes are taking place, or the traits of a teenager is seen even when the child is 9 years old. So we can say that 10 to 19 years is somewhere the stage of a disciplining, or the stage where we have to show them or impact them. There are three stages, as we all know. The first seven stage, the mid seventh stage, and the last seven stages of teenage. That is 0 to 7 years is said to be the toy stage, or a game stage where you call each other and play with each other. It's a play stage where we only play with the child and we don't instruct them. Next comes the discipline stage, or a sponge stage, wherein the child is trying to absorb all that what parents are doing, or his peers are doing, or his neighbors are doing. So he keeps seeing everything, he watches, and then he tries to perceive things in that way. The final stage, or the last stage, or the last 7 years, is said to be the friend stage, where we are friends, we are close friends, we are very closely associated with each other. So, this particular thing, in order to have that last final stage, that is a friend stage, if we want to have that, then we must be prepared to. From the very beginning, that is the 0 to 7 years of age, whatever is there, from there the journey goes on. This is very important. For all the three stages, we have to be mindful about all that, because the outcome that we want is to have a friendly relationship with our own children. That's the reason we have this. Now, At the mid seventh, the mid stage, that is the 7 to 14 years of age, here this is called the maturity, or we need to have that maturity in the child to make sure the child is going in the right path. The values, the culture that is taught is also abided by the child. In order to have that, what do we need to do? We have to be mindful about our words, about our approach, and all that, because the outcome should be there in the mind before even we think of all these procedures. So let us talk about all that now. Actually, this wisdom, what you call it, maturity, because it is not the physical maturity I'm talking about, it's about the intellectual maturity, or it is something about the wisdom or hikmah, what you call it in Arabic terminology. This is a blessing which all don't get. Some of them surely they will get, or they get that, it is called mumayyiz, or something that differentiate. They know the knowledge, they have the knowledge between the right and the wrong, and what kind of decision has to be taken. They're very decisive in this matter. So it happens very few of the kind children are of this kind. So we need to raise our children in such a way that they get that maturity in their dealings or in their decision making. So, but at this time, this particular time, usually they forget also, or they don't purposely follow what is given to them or what is told to them. I'll tell you about this why in the later stage now. So, the second thing, what makes teenagers special is that they have a special identity about themselves. It's at this time they think the physical, the identity, the individuality that they have, they think about themselves. They're very conscious about their appearances. They are very conscious about their the lifestyle, what they have, their peers, and all that. So they think about only themselves, and they have I can say, I can tell you that it is like a basket of me or mine, which is belonging to me. So there is a basket where all my belongings are stored. Unfortunately, parents don't come under these things. Very few of them include their parents in that basket of, me basket. Why it happens? It's because of one hormone known as oxytocin, which is very active in a teenager. Oxytocin determines what is mine and what are not. Like, this is for me, like my time, my life. Why should others talk about it? It's my opinion, it's my decision. Why should somebody interfere? All these things happen because of one hormone which is there in the body of a teenager, which is very active. Of course, all of us have that oxytocin, but it's very active during that time because very rapid changes take place in the child's body, during the teenage, because we all know it's at that time that the reproductory organs also are growing, and some other physical changes, the bodily change, the inner body also is changed at that particular time, and that's how these physical changes and the hormonal changes that are taking place, the child is not able to cope up with. The speed of these developments are so much that the child is not able to cope up really well in this particular thing, and that's the reason he is not able to decide properly who is mine and who are not. Therefore, you see the difference in the family also. Like some of them, they don't want to respect their own family members. They don't want to listen to what parents are talking about. They just rebel sometimes. They don't want to listen at all. It is all that culture, the behavioral changes that takes place because of this particular oxytocin. They have, it's like a juggling between those pressures that they have within themselves, and they're not able to express them. It's very difficult for them to express. That's the reason they are themselves confused. Why am I reacting like this, mama? I want to do something good, but I'm not able to. I want to deal with my siblings very well, but I'm not able to do it because I don't know what is happening. These things come up. These are some of the statements that children say about their own behavior sometimes, because they are in their own pressure. Sometimes the pressure may be from the houses, or sometimes it could be the academic pressure as well from the schools, choosing their careers, all those things. It's not that easy. They have a kind of pressure which they are not able to express it. And it's not that they want to only listen to the parents' decision and just go with that decision. No, that's not possible. They have their own desires, they have their own decisions also, they have that liberty to choose. So it's all right. They get frightened, they feel insecure certain times about the decision that parents have taken. These things are there in their mind, and it all has to do something with the changes that takes place in the physical and the mental body. So they are very conscious about their career, their their life, their appearances, muscles, the height, the body structure, all those things. It matters a lot. They want, it's all because the six hormones which are there in the body, it is getting, that mood swings and all that is all because of the six hormones that they are talking about, or they have that development that takes place in the body. And because of that, these mood swings, these behavioral changes, suddenly turning out to be rebellious or aggressive, all these things are the symptoms. It happens because the bodily changes that takes place is very rapid change. But what happens in the brain? So what are the changes that takes place in the brain? Again, brain is, we have to talk about the development that takes place in the brain. For example, now the neural pathways that are already created in the mind is broken, and again it is changing into a new or reforming of these neural pathways. Now, what are neural pathways? I'll tell you, when we were young, we were not able to write anything. We didn't know how to write and how to read. At that particular point, what happened? We were taught how to hold a pen, how to take out a book, and where are you supposed to write and all that thing. So, repeated actions created neural pathways in the brain. And that's how we are able to write very fluently now. Now, those neural pathways that are created when we were young, it has to be reformed when the child reaches puberty, or when the child is reaching that stage, the sponge stage, I can say, 10 to almost 14 years of age. This is a stage where the child feels that I want to do something that my parents are talking about, all those things, and I want to follow them, but I'm not able to do it. Somewhere I get wild. I don't listen to all those things, and once that incident gets over, maybe after some time, then they start repenting. These are the pathways which are again and again getting reformed. This is the reason it happens. And that's why they are not able to understand others' feelings also. What my parent is going through, what she is feeling now, what my mother is feeling now, what my father feels when I speak about these things. They are not bothered about it because the pathways are recreated. Again, the typical, I can say, a teenage behavior is to be a very aggressive or sometimes authoritarian, like showing the authority. I will not do it. I'll not clean the room. I'll not make my bed. So these things, they turn out to be very, aggressive sometimes also for small things. What we tell them, wake up early in the morning, they don't want to wake up. All these typical behaviors of teenager is seen at that particular time. So it is the feeling of insecurity, the feeling of lazy or mood swing. Sometimes they feel that yes, I should not. Uh, why should I do it? Why is that my parents are forcing me to do all these things? It's my life. So these things come into being. And another important characteristics of a teenager is that they talk about the peers more, or they are more attracted towards their peers and friends and not about their family or not about the siblings. Because peers are the ones who talk about their conscious appearance. Maybe they are consciously they are talking about the appearance of the child, like you look beautiful when you have these facials, or when you use these kinds of apparels. You have this ethnic wear, you get it in this shop, you go there and have your facial done. All those things when their peers are talking about, they feel resonated. They feel that yes, my more than my parents, my friends are taking care of me. Had there been a chance that we discuss about all these things at home, okay, what kind of appearance you want, or the beard, the style of the beard, or the hairstyle that you want to have, what kind of dress you want to wear, all these things, if we discuss with our children, then there is less possibility that the child doesn't care or doesn't listen to us. But when the child is not resonating, he feels that, okay, my mom doesn't understand about me. Why should I talk about the appearances? Why should I go talk about my hairstyle with my mother? Because she doesn't understand. She says, okay, this is not the way. So she never understands my feelings. But my friends do. That's where they are very much attracted towards friends. And that me factor, again, is not letting them include us in their me basket. They don't care what others say, what family members say. They don't care about it. They don't care of the parents' reputation or the parents what they have in their the society, what people are what kind of people are around them. They don't bother about all those things. And they are even not bothered about taking risk. Anything I'm sure you might have come across children who just take the key and they just go and drive the car. They say, why should I ask the permission? There's nothing wrong about it. So what? All are going, I'll also go. This is something we can see in our children. It's all because the risk taking factor is very high in a teenager. The child feels low, risky. All these things are nothing, no problem at all. I'm an adult now, I'm grown up. And that's how this mentality they have in their mind, that why should I be considered a small child? I've grown up. I'm young enough. I'm able to understand all that. I'm able to manage my life now. So those things are there in the mind. And the thing that makes them feel annoyed is when you tell them that you are a child and you are still not mature. This makes them very much annoyed. Never talk about these things now with our teenager or children, because teenager doesn't want himself to be called a small boy or a small girl. Make them feel, yes, you are grown up and you have your own responsibility. I understand this. So this is your responsibility as a young adult. You have to do this. Let them take some decisions from our own decision, that we want to include them also. Try to include them also in some decision making, the conditions that you have. So what as parents we need to do to have better understanding? The very first thing is set boundaries at home and make them realize that these are the boundaries, these are some of the rules and regulations that we all have to abide by. We all in the family or everybody at home needs to follow these rules. Include them also in making them feel comfortable about the rules. Tell them why we have these rules and also involve their opinion, their decisions also. Sometimes they may also say that, Mama, this is better, you don't do this. It's all right if we can, is it okay if I can come at 9 o'clock? Or at in the evening, if I reach home by 9, is it okay? Why do you say it's 8:30? So you can be little flexible, but see to it that a strict rule is implemented. And also tell them the consequences. What happens if you don't abide by this, or if you overstep these the rules or the boundaries? Then what has to be done? What are the steps that we need to take? Those things also have to be communicated very clearly. So take some time, think over all that points, what can help you reach out to your child as a good parent, and he can resonate or she can resonate with you as his own friends. And also make sure that the child makes mistakes and learns from it. This is very important. We don't allow our children to make mistakes. It's all right if they make mistake, and that even if they have a blunder in life, it's all right. But what is that learning? This is very important. Make them understand the learning that they got out of that mistake, what they commit. Okay, so it's very easy, clearly understood what can be done as parents, and we also need to be in such a way in sync with our own children, make them feel that yes, I understand and I care for you. Even if you're talking about the appearances, they may be talking about their beard styles, they may be talking about the skirts, or they may be talking something sometimes even about their dresses, the apparels, or the ethnic wear that they want to wear, or sometimes the formals that they want to wear. All those things they may be talking about. And we need to talk in such a way that they get resonated very easy. They understand us easily. Otherwise, when we only command, when we only tell them, no, you will not be able to do this, I'll not allow you to wear this. So such kind of things, what happens is they get you away from that me basket. They don't involve you in any ways. They don't consider you to be a part of their life. And this becomes very difficult for parents to deal when they are in the this teenage phase. It's very difficult. So let us be mindful about all these things. And if you have really some doubts about, or you want to clear some queries about teenagers and the issues that they are facing, let me know in the comment section so that I can help you out. And maybe in my next video or the live session, I can come up with some of the contents related to these things. So also, if you have anybody who is in need of these kind of videos, do share these videos with others so that it becomes a sadaka jariya for you as well, and help others also get the solution for the problems that they are facing right now. Goodbye for now, and see you in the next video. Thank you.